Hey, what's up, guys? Over the last 9.5 months, you've seen me post a few of my bod pod results, and I wanted to take a moment to just go over some of those results, and most recently, what I did a week and a half ago. So I want to show you how I went from looking like this at the beginning of the year to 9.5 months later, now looking like this. So let's go over some of these numbers. Okay, so here's a snapshot of the bod pod results I just got back on the 24th of September. So in this left-hand column in the blue are just the dates of all of the assessments I've had done this year. Now in this purple column, the percent body fat, the estimated body fat percentage. In January, I was 11% body fat. That's that first photo you saw. Now in May, I dropped down to 8.3% body fat. And here's what I looked like at that point in time. Then in July, I dropped down to 6.5% body fat, and here's how I looked. And then in September, that's that last photo you saw, I was at 3.7% body fat for a total loss of 7.3% body fat over the course of 9 months. Now let's slide over to this green column, the fat weight in pounds. Briefly, in January, I was 18 pounds of body fat. In May, it was 13.5 pounds of body fat. In July, 10.8 pounds of body fat. And then in September, 6.3 pounds of body fat for a total loss of 11.7 pounds of body fat over the course again of 9 months. Now, over in this orange column, the fat-free weight, this includes your skeleton, your skeletal muscle, your organs, water weight, and everything in between. So in January, I was 145.7 pounds. In May, I was 151 pounds. In July, I was 154.7 pounds. And then in September, it jumped up quite a bit to 164.2 pounds for a total gain of 18.5 pounds. Now, lastly, in this teal or blue column, total body weight pounds is where it actually gets interesting. So you're going to see 163.8 pounds in January, 164.6 in May, 165.5 in July, and then in September, it jumps quite a bit to 170.6 pounds for a total gain of 6.8 pounds over the course of 9 months. Okay, guys, I just want to take a moment and address that 5-pound weight gain that happened from July to September. So that's not a very true or accurate representation of the weight gain that happened in terms of it can be perceived as just straight muscle mass, but mostly that's all water weight. So I had a few high sodium meals a couple days leading up to the bod pod assessment, and obviously I was super hydrated. So that data is a little bit skewed, and I want to be totally transparent about that. The other thing I want to highlight while we're on this topic is that what I'm trying to draw your attention to is this term that we talk about called body recomposition. And what we are usually referring to in this context is that as you are losing body fat and working out and putting on lean muscle mass, sometimes the scale or the number that's being projected back to you doesn't always reflect the success and all the hard work that you're putting in. We often get too hyper focused, especially on a journey of weight loss, of paying attention to the numbers that are on a scale. It's very important to realize that if you are training consistently, eating correctly, and the numbers are not going into your direction, we most likely need to look at other health parameters and checks to see where the change may or may not be happening. In this context, for me, I actually gained a little bit of total weight, but as again, you can see, I lost a crap ton of body fat percentage and body weight pounds and actually put on some lean muscle mass in addition to some water weight, of course. But again, this is the truest definition of body recomposition. So if I was just focused on the scale while I'd been doing all this very strict nutrition and training, I would become very, very demoralized if I wasn't taking the time to do some other further additional assessments like this bod pod that I've been doing every couple of months. Other things you should be paying attention to, of course, are your energy levels and how are you feeling. Those are some of the most important things to think about as you're doing any kind of new nutrition or training program. But other things we have to think about are how are our clothes fitting? How do we look in the mirror when we get out of the shower? And you can even talk to your significant other or boyfriend or girlfriend or best friends like, hey, is my body looking any different? I don't feel like I'm having any success. Those that are closest to you will notice any kind of changes if you yourself are not seeing them. So before I get to these next questions, I'm sure it's going to come up like, hey, what'd you do to get there? I'll be very honest. The number one thing you have to pay attention to is consistency. You just have to show up for yourself every single day, whether you want to or not. Nutrition is king. sleep is right there with it, and then of course training. So here's a short little montage of some of the foods I was eating and some of the training that I was doing.
Everyone wants to get shredded, everyone wants to get swole, but they use their little gym goblins as an excuse. That little gym goblin is my motivation. She's my wife. Daddy, have a kiss. Oh, thank you, I love you.
All right, guys, so just in closing, if you're ready to make your own transformation, you want to see your body fat percentage and numbers go down, you want to see your lean muscle mass go up, you want to have better vitality, better energy, shoot me a message, drop a comment. Let's start training together. We do custom meal plans, custom training, weekly check-ins, everything in between. We tell you what to eat, when to eat, how to cook it, how to prepare it, everything that you can imagine. So I'm always available. Ask the questions that you want to ask. I'm happy to get you started. Let's go into the new year already feeling healthy and refreshed, and let's not wait to the beginning of the new year to see the change that we want to be. Much love. I appreciate you watching the video. You guys take care.